Coach, are your numbers right now about where you want, or do you feel like you guys need some more depth long term to kind of look at?
Depth is always good for D linemen. We like to rotate a lot. A few guys banged up right now, and we got some guys coming in the summer. But right now, I think it's good for a lot of guys. Our numbers are low. They're getting a lot of reps. Guys who usually don't get a lot of reps in the past. Ruquan Buckley, Herbig, those guys, Prince Will, the young guys, Cam Linhart, those guys that just got here, Kai Wallen. It's good for those young guys to get a lot of reps. So right now, those guys are just focused on getting as many reps as they can, working on their technique and getting better to improve the group.
What's your message to someone like Groupon, who he's been around a couple of years, but it hasn't played a lot, but he's got a fresh start?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, a fresh start for him. With a new coaching staff, everyone's on a clean slate. And he's done a great job. He's got his weight down. He's becoming a better student in the football classroom, already a great student academically. But, just slowing the game down for him. He has an opportunity, but he's doing everything right now, and he's earning some reps.
From a technique standpoint, what makes a good defensive lineman in your room?
Right now it's just fundamentals, just, pad level, playing with good hands, being violent, and getting off the ball. And, we talked about in the past having dynamic guys, that can get off the ball and, threaten offensive linemen right away. So our guys are just developing that right now and getting better each day.
Is there a particular player that's good at that in the raw skill level?
Right now I think the whole group is doing a good job. They're all buying into it. Nash is leading the way right now. He's doing a good job with leadership, taking ownership of the room. And, with Ty Robinson and Blaze out right now, he's, taking that leadership role to the next level. So he's doing a good job of, hearing the message from Coach Rule, hearing the message from me, and applying it to the rest of the room.
Is Blaze out the rest of spring?
I don't know. You have to ask Drew. He has all the PhDs. I just, when guys line up out there and I see him, I call him out there on the field. So.
What about Elijah Judy, Coach? Kind of what have you seen from him, and how do you plan to use Elijah?
Well, Elijah's one of those guys that can line up anywhere. He has a great skill set. Like I said, right now we're just building our fundamentals, man. Just doing everything, from the base up, getting in the great stance, playing with good pad level. He's a guy, like I said, can line up anywhere, can play the 5 technique, 3 technique. So, and with the defense that we run, with Coach White having a lot of guys being able to line up everywhere, he'll be a guy that we feel like can be productive for us.
So are you responsible for the edge rushers or whatever you guys call those players too?
Me and Rob are splitting it. We got a lot of guys that can do both, can line up with their hand in the dirt and stand up. And like I said, that's what we want. We want versatile guys, that can do both, and we definitely have that.
Who are the guys who can do both?
All our guys that stand up can put their hand in the dirt. Prince Will can do both. MJ Sherman can do both. Jamari can do both. So, Maverick Noonan, we have a lot of guys that can line up at linebacker, line up at DN, and sometimes bump down to 3 technique where Kai Wallen has done it, Prince Will have done it, which they probably never done in the past. So, and they're tough enough to do it. So right now, that's what we're trying to do.
What a guy like Jamari, what has he done so far in the first 6 practices to either stand out or what he needs to work on?
He's showing that he's physical. That's the first thing we look for, what guys are tough. He's definitely a tough guy. He has versatility. He can be in my room. He can be in Rob's room. And he's a smart guy. So when you have guys like that have the ability to do that and also can learn the playbook fast, it definitely helps.
What have you seen from A.J. Rollins to make him move over?
A.J. has natural ability to play defensive line. And usually with guys like that, tight ends, because, they block well and, they move well, the movements are kind of the same. For him, it's just, changing his stance a little bit, learning the playbook, and, just getting comfortable with it. That's it for him. But naturally, he does it well. So when we're doing pass rush and those type of things, you can see, the defensive line traits.
What's his enthusiasm level for making that switch?
He's all for it. He's all for it. The guys believe in Coach Rule, and, he has a history of moving guys' position, for the better. So he's doing a great job with it. He's a smart guy, so he'll pick up on it quick and, just trying to get him a lot of reps so he can see himself and so he can improve.
Coach, when you watch Nash's tape from last year, what are some of the areas that you think he needs to really improve on, and what are some areas that you think he's pretty good at?
Yeah, so when I first got here, I knew he was a big, stout guy, right? He can play the run, but, just trying to help him elevate his game to the next level, showing his athleticism, getting on the edge, not just being a two-gap guy and being the guy who can move and get vertical and play in the backfield. So he's bought into it. His body is changing. He's losing some weight, so that's helped.
Yeah, he mentioned that he wanted to kind of reshape his body and shed some pounds. What does that benefit?
It helps him with his movement and how we're going to play on defense, running to the ball every play. He's definitely going to have to drop a few, and he'll do that naturally. And with the nutritionist and, working with Corey and just the way we practice, he'll be in elite shape and be ready to go, and I really believe that.
Coach, how's it gone just blending the new staff together, new players? Obviously these first 6 there's been a lot of things you guys have been able to cover. How's that all gone, just the transition?
Well, right now we're all learning, you know what I mean? And, Coach Rue does a good job of keeping his coaches on their toes and the players as well. And we have a what's next mentality, and we just go out there and we're prepared for anything.
Tony talked about focusing on mentality right now. What type of mindset do you want out of your room?
Gritty playmakers, you know what I mean? And that's the mentality we're going to have. And gritty for me is just doing everything the tough way. You know what I mean? If you're getting double teamed, you're fighting through it. You know what I mean? If the ball is 20 yards away from you, you're fighting through it. But at the same time, we want to go out there and make plays and play in the backfield.
The interior guys have gotten a lot of individualized work with you. How have you seen that benefit them through these first 6 months?
You can definitely see it. And, talking about Ruquan earlier and talking about Nash, and then a guy like Wynn, who was a big, stout guy, and just getting those guys moving a little bit. And, Wynn, he wants to play at the next level, so just doing little things to help him with that, with his foot speed and, those type of things. Because they're big, strong guys, but you got to be able to move.
Coach, we've heard of, trying to be a better ball hawking team. What do you do differently that maybe kind of puts that to another level?
I just think the mentality right now as a defense, they understand what we want. So there's a lot of leadership in the defensive room, and they're pushing those guys to make sure we're running to the ball, we're attacking the ball, we're all speaking the same language. If a ball's on the ground, it's ours, we're picking it up. And just relaying those messages to the guys, from Coach Rule to the rest of the coaching staff, and now the leaders are starting to do it. So you see it picking up as a group when the pairs are pushing their pairs to do it. Both. Right now, there's a certain technique we have to pick up the ball when it's on the ground, but you have to have the mentality to attack the ball as well. So it works hand in hand.
How many guys do you have kind of bouncing between the D-line room and the linebacker room, and how do you work that balance?
Every day it changes. Like you see today, we threw Prince Will at middle linebacker, and he made a play. So every day it changes, and that's the beauty of it right now with spring ball and having versatile guys. You throw them in somewhere else, and you can see a different skill set, and that's the beauty of it. You never know where a guy's going to line up or where he'll end up.
Coach, can you assure me, does he put his hand in the dirt for you guys too a little bit?
Yeah, he's the same. He's the same. You know what I mean? And he's a more experienced guy. He knows how to rush. He can line up with his hand in the dirt. He can rush through the middle. He can rush off the edge. And he's a guy I'm excited about from day one where he got here to where he is right now. He's a guy that is probably a perfect example of a guy who's improving each day.
Is that the beauty of this scheme? A lot of intermixing you can do, a lot of interchangeable parts that aren't necessarily locked in.
Yeah, a lot of guys moving around, but it's a tribute to the players that they're in the playbook, they're learning the defense. They have to learn things on the fly, and they're doing that, and they bought into it. And all we ask them to do is go out and play hard, and the football will handle itself. Thank you.
Same. Yeah.
Coach Rule said there's a lot of defensive backs. Do you see that too? There's a lot of guys.
Yeah, just the numbers. Yeah. We try to do a good job with the rotation, but we have a bunch of them. Yeah, it's a bunch of them.
When you first got here, you said you thought there were a lot of NFL guys in your defensive backs room. I mean, does that still hold true after 6 practices, or some of the guys that you think could kind of hold?
Yeah, no, I think we have a bunch of good players. It'll be left up to me to continue to develop them. Not by any means a finished product, but yeah, we just got to keep working at it. I think we do. Yeah.
With the big numbers, do you think that kind of inherently brings about competition, or have you maybe had to push them a little bit, to remind them of that?
at this level, pretty much the whole group, you know, these guys, they're competitive. You know, they work. You know, they want to be great. They want to start, of course. You know, they want to play a big role on the team. So, no, I don't have a problem with competition in that room. Mm-hmm.
What have maybe heard, what has maybe been different for them as these practices have gone forward, as you've been really dialing into that detail?
Oh yeah, well, football in general, it's a bunch of details. You know, offenses and defenses, they game plan all week to try to make you make a mistake. So you just got to be really tapped into what you're doing and very detailed. You know, I get that from Coach Snow. He's just growing up, or in my career, he just always taught me to make sure to have the right amount of details so they can make the decisions they need to make. So yeah.
I know there was a lot of excitement last time we talked about Tony White's defense and,
Yeah.
and everybody kind of developing it together. What's it like kind of seeing it take shape, I guess, on the field and as it starts here?
Yeah, it's been fun. You know, 11 defenders, all of them in different spots most of the game, most of the practice. Just trying to, you know, seeing how it affects the offenses and identifying what they need to identify. And just having those guys fly around, it can be, you know, it can be difficult to hang out with. I mean, to handle. So.
Sorry for your asked this, but I know you and Garrett are close and,
Yeah.
and bring that rivalry to the field. How's that taken off early in spring?
Yeah. So I'm not much of a talker. Like I don't really talk trash. Like I talk trash to my guys. Like I'm always in their ear trying to make them think about other things. Like I'm always trying to rattle them, you know, because I'll just talk to them about being water. You know, so I spend most of my time coaching my guys and harassing those guys. But it's been fun, you know. Garrett's one of my guys. Just all the coaches, they're my guys. We all have different types of relationships, but yeah.
One of those guys that you said that you were talking a little bit trash on Tuesday was Quinn Newsom.
Yeah.
What have you seen from him so far this spring? We know he wants his single-digit back. What have you seen from him?
First, he's got to earn that one. You know, I can't help him with that one. But he's been dialed in. He's been improving, you know. My entire group, you know, they just want to do what I asked them to do, and they want to do it at a high level. So that's been good. It's been refreshing. Those guys really want to be good.
You know, Coach Rule, I think, mentioned the other day about moving guys around in those different spots in the secondary. I guess how have you seen them react to that? Has anybody stood out so far, kind of moving positions around like that?
Yeah. I mean, anytime you ask a guy to move a position and they kind of just do it, you know, that's always a plus. Coach is trying to get them in the right positions, the right spots, but even on the next level, like you have to be able to do all that kind of stuff. So it'll be good for them in the long run to, you know, try to adapt and do whatever coach is asking them to do. A lot of guys just very willing to do it. So yeah, that always stands out. The willingness and adaptability, that's always good.
Are there traits you're looking for, like with if a guy seems to be able to move to one spot, is there anything you look for that?
You mean like in recruiting or like on the team?
Right now, like if someone seems to have the skill set to play somewhere else, is there anything you look for that?
Yeah, well, sometimes people have different skill sets, but they've been out of position. So things like the natural things that you look for, like linebackers with just the in the box instincts, that kind of stuff. You might have a safety out of position; he can't run as well for a safety, and then you move him to linebacker, and he can run well. You know, so that kind of stuff.
Coach Rule was saying last Tuesday's practice is often the toughest because it's after the first week of spring
Yeah.
practice and all that. I mean, have you felt like the guys responded this week the same amount of intensity as maybe last week?
Yeah, even more. Like I said, these guys, this team, they just really attack whatever we tell them to attack, and it's been good. You know, they come out and compete. Like I said earlier, we don't have a competition problem.
When you get the chance to scrimmage this weekend, is there anything specific that you're looking for the guys to show you out there?
I kind of look for the same things every day. You know, alignment, assignment, technique, effort, that kind of stuff. To me, the spring is about honing in on the things that you need to do specifically for your position. I don't get caught up much in the outcome. You know, just trying to every day, just trying to attack something and make sure that deliberate practice and getting better at something. 1%.
Coach Rule said he doesn't want to even think about depth charts in the spring.
Right.
He doesn't want you guys writing off guys. I mean,
Right.
Is that tough for you at all? Be like, ooh, that guy's going to be my day one starter at all? Or do you take the same mentality where you don't want to think about depth chart?
It's funny. No, it's not tough. because I've watched guys grow from week to week, month to month, year to year. So I try not to put them in a box, you know. Try to just every day, just try to make sure 1% better. That's all.
Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. No problem.
Hey Malcolm, we heard you've been moving a little bit between positions, maybe working a little bit at safety. How's that experience kind of been this spring?
It's been fun, like get all in all positions back there, having fun, and it's easy for me like to learn the playbook, know everybody responsibilities, so I know like if somebody mess up, I'll be able to correct them.
Having the skill set for one translate to the other at all? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean like if you can play any position back there, like you should be able to play like everything back there, like same technique, same responsibilities, and being able to just go out there and play.
How would you describe Coach Cooper out there?
He's a good coach. He pushes us every day. All the DBs, like he gives us the extra drive to go hard out there, give it all we got every day at practice.
You were kind of thrown into the fire last year. I mean, how would you describe your nervousness last year as opposed to this year?
Last year, it was just the first play, like my first play starting. So after that first play, I was good, and I think that's going to translate well this year. Like not being as nervous as I was last year and going out there and play.
What kind of lessons did you learn from that experience last year?
Like I was a freshman, and I was a little scared. Like sometimes, like on the deep balls, and I know that plays gonna happen. So this year, I'm not gonna be worried about that, and just going out there and play hard and rely on my technique that I'm being taught every day.
You work on special teams, returning or anything like that?
No, not returning.
Coach Rule said there's a lot of defensive backs on the roster, so I assume there's a lot of competition in practice. How have you kind of seen that competition between the other guys?
Everybody's been competing well. Like everybody getting a chance. Everybody getting a chance out there to show what they got. New coaches, so I feel like it's good for everybody to get their chance and show what they got.
It's been like having basically everybody back last year in the secondary.
Yeah, it's been good, like to have everybody back. Like we got that bond that we had from last year, and it's going to help us provide, just be good this year together again.
You know, Quinn Newsom is kind of the older guy in the room now. What has he kind of told you? Has there been anything that he's kind of said, hey, work on this or focus on this? What's his message kind of been?
Like he tell me certain things like to work on, not to go out there and be scared like this my sophomore year. So I got to be more, like my game got to be stepped up than it was last year.
Do you feel like you're different from last year? Where do you want to step up this year?
I feel like I want to step up and like helping my teammates, my brothers, get to like where they want to be and help them provide like when they get their chance on the field, like they won't be like I was like nervous and get them ready for that moment.
How do you put that into
like watching film together, like we go and watch film together, practicing and stuff like that.
When you're kind of learning this defense, I guess how difficult is it to kind of pick up and what are your kind of impressions of what you guys are going to be able to do just from a scheme point of view with this defense?
The defenses, I feel like they're easy like to learn. Just taking notes every day and looking over my notes when I'm done. So I feel like the defense are easy to adjust to.
What's the biggest difference in practice been like from this year to last year?
More, well, I don't know. Just going out there and practicing hard.
When you got here, did you think you would contribute as much as you did early on, and kind of how far have you come since then? You did.
I think I came up a lot, being coachable, and my teammates pushing me every day, and I feel like they help me become a better player and a better person out the field and pushing my teammates.
All right. Thanks, Malcolm.
Yeah, it's been good. It's new. I like it. I think the 3 safety, the little thing with the rover, I like that a lot. It's different because the rover, you know, he's like a linebacker as well. So I think we got a lot of guys that can play that position. I think we got like the guys that they did pick right there. I think it's perfect for them. I think, and also they could play safety as well. We all could really play that position. So we all learn the rover position. I love the defense this year. You know, as a DB, you like when more DBs on the field. So.
What's the rover? What's the difference between rover and typical safety?
The only difference is just rover is just more like of a linebacker type DB. So like more of a hitter, I would say, just to shorten it up. Yeah, you know, he could go in the box, he can go out of the box, you know, so it's like a little both.
Okay,
yep.
Omar, last year, I mean, what was, obviously you came here wanting to get on the field and play, but what was the things that maybe held you back from kind of breaking out and getting the reps you wanted a year ago?
I'm not really sure. You know, I just got to really control the things I control, like just like practicing hard every day. Last year, like it was just, you know, it was a lot of stuff going on. So all I could do as a player is really just go hard and practice. And when they do put me in those positions, you know, I got to be ready for it. You know, obviously I didn't like it, but, you know, I was never like saying like nah, denying the coaching. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got to do what I can do. I can only control what I control. So that's what it was.
Coach Rule told the story earlier in the week where maybe you didn't have coverage down, but you were able to react on the ball and to make a play. What do you remember about that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I had busted the coverage, and I knew I busted the coverage during the play, but, you know, like how they say, I think they said just instincts. Like, I seen the quarterback scramble, play action. You know, me being a football player, I know stuff coming, so I just played football off the ball. That's it, really.
What's Evan Cooper been like as a one that's
Yeah, him, I love Coach Cooper. Like, he's young, so I think that's really, like, important because, you know, he just bring that energy every day. Like how they say, you probably know, they come in early every day. They all shake everybody's hand in the morning. They probably here at like 4:30 in the morning. We come here, so I love Coach Cooper. He always bringing energy. He's smart. But I think my favorite thing is he's young, so he can relate to all of us.
During film sessions with Evan Cooper, is there a specific rover that you guys watched on film that you can kind of look at and go off of?
Say it again, my bad.
Is there like during film sessions, is there a rover that you've watched on film that you kind of try to learn from?
I say like they had brought the film, some film like they ran from other schools. So like me, I pretty much watch every position, rover, safety, corner, just to see like me. This is my first time really playing safety for real. So just kind of just learning, seeing what other DBs do in the Big Ten, outside the Big Ten, really just learning off them, for real.
What do you like about Tony White?
Coach White, he's smart. He's smart. He very detailed. He try to make sure we know what we doing, what alignment we in. He really just detailed, really specific. So us as like DBs, we gotta know exactly where we at, the alignments, how many yards we at, why we're inside, why we're outside. So he's good at explaining why we gotta do those things.
What's that learning curve been like to this point, learning the new solutions?
It's been fun. It's been like a little tiring because, you know, you gotta just like learn everything fast. But I like it because they've given us an opportunity to they slowing things down, so they give everybody a chance to actually get to know all the plays first, run through them, practice them. So I think that helps everybody. So now when the new plays do come in, everything will just be going faster and faster.
Omar, did you kind of reset yourself mentally in December? You know, maybe last year didn't go quite like you wanted, but the new start for everybody, and what is your mindset?
Yeah, I don't even think that was just for me. I think for like just everybody, just knowing that it's gonna be a new staff coming in, it's gonna be a new system coming in. So everybody basically at number one, at the top. So everybody got to grind. So me, this is my last year. I'm really taking it serious. So I try to stay in, watch film longer at times where I'm not doing anything. Just learn really what I can learn. Like I'm going hard, like I've been doing last year. So ain't nothing new.
What's the mentality that it takes to carry a guy like Teddy Nebraska?
Man, Teddy. Me and Teddy, I ain't gonna lie, me and Teddy, like, we were already close, but that right there just made us even closer, and we got class together, so, man, that's a big, big-ass dude.
Was there any hesitation?
It wasn't. Like, see, like, when we was doing it, we actually, like, it was like a team thing, so I was, like, looking at everybody matchups, I'm like, okay, who's gonna get Teddy? I'm like, I'm just seeing like it's nobody to match him up with. I'm like, Teddy, I got you. I'm just gonna have to do it. Go ahead. So that's really just how it went down, just that simple.
Were you okay afterwards?
Yeah, I was okay. You know, I was tired. Like, you know, he big, so.
You got a chance to look at the offense and the quarterbacks. What impresses you about the quarterback?
Man, I think we got a lot of good quarterbacks. I think every one of our QBs are good. They all got different things they could do. They all got like their pros and cons. I think they are different. So, I think it was just a versatile at quarterback. We got quarterbacks that can run. We got quarterbacks that could throw deep. We got quarterbacks that could do both. So I think the quarterback position is going. I love it. I love all the quarterbacks.
Hey, Omar, do you think that team competition stuff you guys did the last couple of months before spring ball, did it work pretty well in getting guys closer? What was your take on it?
I think when coaches implement like competition stuff, I think it makes the team just better overall. It just brings out who's a dog on the field. So all the competition and stuff they've implemented, I love it because like it shows who wants it more. It shows who wants it. So I love all the competition stuff they're giving us. Yeah.
Anything else for Omar? All right, thank you.
Thank you.